The money.
Here we go.
Hello and welcome to Money on the Floor Nadex Trading. Right now I have the all or nothing template up, but this is not the exact template. This one's a little bit different. This is one I just put together right now for a 1 hour chart. Because if you took the all or nothing template and moved it to a 1 hour chart, it just didn't work. It works great for a 15-minute chart, and I like trading 15 minutes. But with Nadex, I thought maybe I'd try the 1 hour chart and see if I can get some bigger moves. I mean, this big move here would be a lot of money to me, so that's what I'm looking at. I mean, I would only need part of this and I'd make a lot of money. I'm not trying to get rich. Well, actually, yeah, but I mean, right now I'm just happy to pay the bills, so let's just be honest. And Nadex is so easy at getting their money back, you need to be more worried about losses than making money. So when you got a system that'll you don't have to worry about getting in, it tells you where to get in. It's basically the exact same thing. We get the red arrow. At that time, we're only looking for sell trades. Once we get all three red down below, you're on. So there's your trade. Where do you exit the trade? There's a couple different ways to exit. You can either exit when you go underneath the 50, which would be a good trade. You've already into profit, but that's not enough for me. Usually it takes me two green ones, two of the opposite color, right about there. Now, if you went underneath the 50, another good way to do this too, if you go underneath the 50 and you start to go back up, close the trade. You don't need nobody to tell you that it's going you need to get out. It's already done. The 50 is like a big, everything goes to the 50 and away from the 50. Look, here it goes up, away from the 50, goes to the 50, away to, away to, away to. So if you see that you're crossing the 50, get out. You've already made all this, hopefully. If not, you shouldn't have been getting in the trade. I mean, you could have got in late, and then you saw you went down into here. But if you go underneath the 50 and you cross back up, close the trade. That would be one way to get out. The other way is two green ones, which right here we have two green ones. At that time, I would close the trade. And that's as simple as that. Now, you can get into another trade, like let's say you already know the tail's red. It's pretty obvious up here. It's all red. So, and you see right now, you just went all three red. Right about there, you'd see it. You can sell that. Where do you get out? It's very easy. Two green, right there, out. Didn't make any money, really. Might have made a little bit, but not enough. That's why the arrow is the best way. The arrow, the first trade off the arrow is going to be the best one. Let me go back here, find another trade. Let's go back a little farther if we can. Still working here. So we got the red arrow, so we're looking for red trades. We don't get the trades way over here, which is fine. You didn't want to be in all that mess. That's what this system's designed to do, keep you out of trouble. So right here, you got all three red. And if you make the sell trade, you don't have to panic because you're not going to get out until everything changes to green. What does it do? Whoa, where did we go? Okay, things moving too fast on me. There we go. Okay. So now everything's red. You're getting in the trade. It's going down, going down. You're getting into pretty good money. You're real happy. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, can't get this thing to stay where I want it. Right here. You got two green right there. So at two green, you're going to exit the trade. Now you've already starting to lose money, so hopefully you're exiting anyway. And you already know you hit the bottom over here, and you went underneath the tail for the other trade. So you know you got some kind of support here. But you wouldn't exit the trade, so you got the two green, which would be right about there. And you're going to start losing money. It's going to start pulling up pretty quick, so hopefully you get out fast enough. But if you got in from the top, it's not that big a deal. You still made enough money. And that's just the way to trade this. Now it's a 1 hour chart. This is a lot of movement here. Again, here you got all green. And once you got out, you can get back in right here. Right there, you got all three green. You get in at the bottom of this candle and ride it up. You went above the 50, and then when you started coming back down below the 50, close the trade. Now this thing says to stay in the trade, so you could. No reason to exit till you get two red. Where do you get two red? Right up back here. Right there you got two red. So still either way you're fine. I just, once I go opposite side of the 50 and I come back, I'm out of the trade. Close the trade, I'm done. Just how I look at it. Now you could trade these in here. There's nothing wrong with that, but the main thing if you're going to trade these is time of day. You want to trade the first 2 to 3 hours of any open, whether it's the Asia session, New York session, London session. Now I love London, but you got to trade what you can trade when you can trade it. So maybe you're not up for those times. So the thing is no matter what it is, if you got all three and you're happy, and especially look, you're underneath the 50, so you're looking for sells anyway. That's how I look at it. If I'm under the 50, sells are more strong. They're going to be stronger. That's all there is to it. So you get all three red, you might want to sell that. Where do you get out? Right there, it goes two green, you're out. You made money. So it works really good. Now you got a green signal, so you can know you can look for green trades. So over here, you get all three green. Good trade. It went up. Went up. It came back down a little bit. You're still above the 50. Still comfortable. It's turning red. You're still above the 50. Still above the 50. Still above the 50. You don't have two red yet. Where do you get two red? Right about. You get two red right there. It's the same time you get the red arrow. You'd be exiting anyway. That would be the best trade. I don't know what time that is, but 2200. Later in the day. Okay. Well, that was a good trade though. And then right away, usually right after you have one trade, you know it turned around. So now we're going the other way. You got all three red right there. I'd be selling that one right there, going down. Let me pull this one back so we can see it. You'd be selling that one coming down, down, down. You cross the 50. This is one we talked about before. Where do you get out? You get out when you cross back above the 50. Now you could hold on. Nothing wrong with that. And this, for some reason you missed it. When you got two green, you definitely exit. Any time you got two of the opposite color, you exit. That's all there is to it. This system works really good. I haven't used it yet, but I mean on paper it works really good. So I look forward to playing with it and trying it. Now, anybody that's already bought the Nadex system, they will get this one too. So this one will be coming today. So just one more thing to touch with and play with. It's still going to have all the stuff on it, just like the other one. It just has one different indicator, and the rest is the same. And then you set it for a 1 hour chart. I don't know if it can do more than that. I'm happy with 1 hour. I don't really need to. That's a big chart for me. I mean, just sit in front of and wait for an hour for a candle to finish, that's a lot for me. So, but you know, if I'm doing something throughout the day and I can keep my eye on it, you know, and go ahead and get in when it's red, everything's all three red, and let it run, and then come back and check it. You know, and plus, you know, you got your moving average. So, I mean, you could put a stop down here, a limit order to get out in case it does go down that far. But don't have to. I mean, that's up to you. I mean, I like limits. So if I get to London and I take a trade down, I think when I look to see where I'm at for like on the 4 hour chart, see what the range is, see where things might go. I figure, okay, where am I going to make 500 bucks? Right about there. I'll put my limit order, get out. Usually I wake up in the morning, it's been filled, and the market kept on going. But hey, I made my money. I'm happy. Or it bounced and went all the way back up, and I look and oh, I got filled in. I got taken out, and the market reversed, just like it did here. Because I have that a lot too. So the worst thing you want to do is wake up in the morning, see you're in big profit, and now you've given 3/4 of it back. So I mean, you don't want that. So if you're going to crash at night, or you're going to be away or doing something, just put in a limit order anywhere where you'd like to take profit or where you think is. Don't get greedy. Just pick a spot where you think it might go to, and you feel comfortable with that. That's all. And it may be way up here. If you got in there, it might be right here. It may be above the thing. You still made money. It just depends what you're looking for and how you're trading. So, but it's very good. I talked to Sharon about that in the trade room, and we were just explaining to her about taking the limit orders to get out and placing the trades at night, maybe even waking up, put the alarm clock, get up at 11 o'clock my time, which she says like 1 o'clock her time, and place the trade, go back to bed, see what happens. So, I mean, this thing will get you in the right trade. And you can always, if you're worried, you can always put a limit order to get out in case it goes the wrong way too. I mean, you can set a limit order just above this. So if for some reason this stupid thing turned around in the middle of the night and you didn't know it, it got you out for a tiny loss. Or if it started going into profit, put a limit order like a stop. You're already way down here. You want to see if it goes more, put your limit order just above it and let it run. You never know. Never know what you might get. All right, you guys. Have a great evening. We'll talk to you soon. Stay safe out there. It's still pretty crazy. And anybody who's bought the Nadex template will be getting this template. All right. Thanks again. Bye-bye.